All right, so the minutes are approved. And now, public comment.
Okay, I assume that this subcommittee also looks at internal policies, and I just wanted to bring it to your attention that I filed a public records request here on the 7th of August with the director and with the chair of the POB, and concerns records that are required under the ordinance that the CPOA was born under, I guess you could say, and that concerns IA investigations, and that APD, it's under 9414C3C of the ordinance, and it says that all complaints filed by police officers will be investigated by Internal Affairs, and Internal Affairs shall provide weekly updates to the director and all open internal investigations, and that the director's investigation report and findings shall indicate whether within the past year there were any IA investigations or supervisor just generated complaints against officers involved in the incident being investigated and that are otherwise relevant to the subject matter of the investigation and the general nature of the prior investigations or complaints and whether they resulted in any discipline. And then it goes on to say that redacted personal records, including those in Internal Affairs units, shall be made available to the POB on demand. And I requested those records for 3 internal investigations, and the response that I got is unsigned, and it says, Mr. Harrison, we, in receipt of your request to inspect certain records, there are no responsive records to meet your request. So it appears that records that shall be kept aren't being kept, and that, well, this response that I got is unsigned. It just comes from the POB email address. And I requested 2 days ago, I followed up with a response to this asking who I was talking to. I said, who is this? Okay, and I've gotten no response. So anyway, I wanted to bring that to your attention, that you need to take a look at your own internal practices and policies and hopefully get those straightened out.
Any other comment?
Were there any special cases that?
Yes, yeah, there were 3 internal affairs investigations, and I spelled out the numbers of those. It was they're called I cases. Yeah, I-167-16, I-517, and I-617. So these are all fairly old cases. One, I believe 167-16 was, well, it's been over a year ago, and I-517 and I-617, I'm assuming those were instigated January, February of this year, so they're 5-6 months old.
Is there any special reason you're interested in those cases?
Yes. All these internal affairs investigations concern an officer, Anthony Sedler.
Okay, certain officer. Okay. Thank you.
Any other?
I don't know anything about it.
But as I understand, you're trying to get IE investigations that we received and that should be available to us.
Yeah, under the ordinance, any IA investigation shall be reported to the director with weekly updates, and then the director is shall investigate and report findings. And I assume that that information is supposed to be made available to the board. And then if the board feels that they need more information, they can request that from internal affairs on demand. That's what the ordinance says.
Why isn't it internal affairs that should furnish the records? Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Why shouldn't it be internal affairs that furnishes the records?
Well, it is. That's what the ordinance says. It says.
But
No, I think his question is why didn't you send the request to internal affairs instead of us?
I'm having a lot of problems with APD getting records. So that's my answer to that.
Well, in the interest of resolving this, I mean, are we in a position to resolve it? The ordinance may say that we have the records, and I'm on a limb here because all I know. So would you?
I'll handle it.
Okay.
First off, I apologize. My signature was not on the emails because when I was away on vacation, my computer was re-imaged and it took away all of my stuff. So all of my signatures and signings from emails I discovered were gone. So I apologize for that. The issue of the weekly updates from IA is being addressed by their policy because currently it's not in their policy to do so, and it is in the process of being written in to their policy, and it's at OPA right now.
So it's another difference between what's in the ordinance
And what's in policy.
what's in policy.
So
No.
it's
Okay.
So it is being written into their policy, but in the meantime, I am now receiving weekly updates. None of them included the case numbers that you cited, and so therefore there were no responsive documents. I can't create something that we don't have.
How long has that been in the ordinance?
When the ordinance is
From the beginning, wasn't it?
I don't know. When I looked at it, it was on the amendment. It was in the amended ordinance, not the original ordinance.
It wasn't in the original, but it was in the amended. So how long? It's been over a year.
Over a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Okay.
If you're, I don't know. We are here to try to resolve your problem at the moment, I think. But I think if we could,
Well,
maybe.
Well, that's a good answer. I mean, if APD wasn't following the ordinance for over a year, then that pretty much tells us the answer, doesn't it?
Except they don't have to follow the ordinance. That's the problem.
Well, that's another issue.
Yeah, that's a separate
right,
issue.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe an ordinance is law.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. I think we've gone as far as we can to resolve this. And,
Okay. Well, I appreciate the answer. Thank you, Mr. Harness.